For all of us today, it is a way of saying there are people who, not by their status, but by the goodness of their heart, has made their dear ones' organs to facilitate, to gift life for 23 people. What do we say? Thank you is an ordinary word. Mudakaranam, Nandri, Vanakam. You saw them, when she said, my father will be happy for what we have done for him. And you saw the emotion of the children. We have nothing, but still we said we must do something so that it can benefit other human life. See, today is an eventful day because it's for a single day on one institution to have 5 donors and to enable the organs to be available for 23 people for whom it can change life. It's very, very, for me it's emotional, but I think it's an event which we should say should be continuously done all over the world, because it's people from everywhere. I don't have the numbers. I know there are several million people who are blind in our country, several hundreds of thousands of people who need renal transplants, who need heart transplant, kidney transplant, and all of these. Fortunately today, you saw our surgeons, Dr. Anand Karkar, and the transplant teams who have done the heart transplant, liver transplant, kidney transplant, and the supporting team for them are able to do with the same or better clinical excellence anywhere in the world, because when this is very important. To have the organs is important, but to have that organ actually be given the best outcome for the recipient. I think this is where we are pleased that 23 people today have received these organs on a single day. And what I personally wanted to express is, way back in 1965, they called for a parliament session to impeach Session. At that time, I went to meet the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, V.C. Shukla. He told me, Dr. Reddy, we have called for the session to impeach him, we don't have a majority. I told him, can we at least pass this act? So he said, let's go and meet the Prime Minister. Fortunately, Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, yes, I promised Dr. Reddy, let's promise this, do this legislation. It happened. But unfortunately, the states did not give us enough support to enable this to happen. For it, we are grateful to Tamil Nadu. And the very proof that we have our Secretary Health, Radhakrishnan here, whom we have bothered, Dr. Bama tells me they call him at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock for an approval. It's always an S and not an anger. And I'm also thankful to the government, the coordination from Stanley Medical College, the Dean is here, all of it, but most important, it is people to realize, if these ordinary people, in that great grief, if they can say, yes, I understand, you can take this. I still remember when I had the first transplant, it was a 27-year-old, who died, as Mr. Radhakrishnan said. He went on a scooter without a helmet, and there was an accident, and they brought him 3 days later when I pronounced him brain dead. And we talked to the relatives, and the relatives said no. The wife came back to my room and said, what do you mean that my husband will live in different lives? So when I explained to her, after 15 minutes, they came back again and said, yes, we want to donate. That was the first multi-organ transplant that took place in our country at this hospital. But today, we're happy that this movement, thanks to the support of Tamil Nadu government, it has now come up to this level. What I ask all of you is to, be the champions to promote this. Yes, we have the grief counselors who do this, but the media can do a tremendous lot by saying, if a life after the brain dead, if that can be given it to so many people, it can make a very big difference. I mentioned it, our Honorable Prime Minister too, in 2012-13, when we did the world's largest number of solid organ transplants, heart, liver and kidney. Last year we increased the numbers. But what is most important is the scheme is still in infancy in India because there are very few people like this wonderful family who automatically think it is available. Yes, the stuck infrastructure is ready. The government has put up a very nice body where without question the proper organ is given to the most deserving person. So I think Tamil Nadu government deserves this, and the way the system is running is absolutely marvelous. Sometimes we feel maybe we should have got an extra organ, but otherwise we will feel saying justifiably the organs went to the right people. But I think you must say, if this has happened in one center in one day, in the world I don't know of any place where 23 organs were salvaged on a single day in a single hospital. But that's possible. Imagine your contribution by bringing this awareness. I don't know of many people who helped us promote this scheme, because if Apollo talks about it, they say it's for their good. Yes, it's for our good, but it's for our good to help others, to give life for others. So I think we need many champions to be able to talk to people, or we need a government, which I said, which will say they must, during their lifetime, say they must opt out saying their organs cannot be given for gift of life. Let's visualize for a second, saying, you see a person in the terminal stages of his life, let's say a heart failure, nothing could be done at that time. If an organ comes for him, what do you see in their families? This is what you must be able to see through your cameras every single day and say, this is what we can create. And there is only one country where the largest number of transplants take place, that is Spain. But I believe with Indians have always the spirit of giving. But what we need to induce in them is saying, giving organs is not an insult to the body, because sometimes they think, I cannot offend or insult the body by giving organs. But if they all realize, by giving these organs, you are only adding, because helping so many other lives, you are going to give happiness to their soul. I think that, if it goes through, I'm sure, with the 23 organs that were done for the first time in the world, in one single center, probably will become 230 in another center somewhere, I hope in India itself. And our health secretary will be happy if it happens in Tamil Nadu one day. So I think the leadership is necessary, but the leadership was for us to create, effectively do these transplants. It's not easy. I see that Anand Khatar, when he came here, you would have seen he worked continuously for 72 hours, he and his whole team. But they just rushed home to have a bath and come before the press conference. I think this is the type of commitment all of them are giving, our grief counselors, to tell them what is this for, how really will it impact other people's life. It's not easy at that time because they are not in that receptive mood. They have lost their most dear and precious one. Like the daughters were telling, he was the only breadwinner for the family. We all depended only on him. At that time, how do you translate such a message? So I think the media can do a great lot. I hope there will be many, many, many champions who will advocate this to happen. I hope all governments in India, all the governments, first in India, will take up the lead given by the Tamil Nadu government, so that we will have that satisfaction that an organ is not wasted, because what happens if you don't gift it? It becomes ash next day. But today, if it is, I still know that first organ donor, that lady, comes to us at all times, maybe once, twice a year, not to ask for any favor from Apollo. Just says, whenever I'm depressed, if I come to your lobby, I feel that my husband is still alive. That's a thing, great sacrifice that you all have done. We're indebted to you. And the world is indebted to you for this thing. And media, I hope, will say it is not just the largest in the world that has been done in a single center. It is a great effort that the combined effort of the counselors, the medical team, and the government and Apollo together have brought and made this possible. We hope sincerely it will take to that level that is needed. You know, there are again and again, I repeat, just the road accidents. There are 150 deaths that are taking place in road accidents. If I can only take them, probably save some of them. As our secretary said, if they have wear a helmet, they probably won't die. You know, and other people, if they cannot do anything for them, hospitals, if they cannot help them, if their organs could be given to other people who need it, I think it's a very wonderful thing. I sincerely and most respectfully pay homage to the 5 people whom the families lost. But as I say, we feel your pain, we feel your sorrow, but we assure you, and I think whatever you have done will make that, make a significant impact in other lives, and we are with you in sharing your sorrow. Thank you.